Hi, I'm Beverly Holden, and I've been sharing my journey of leaving the church and embracing spirituality. So today I want to talk about congruency. I have three beautiful children, and you've met one. Her name is Gina, and I've done a couple of videos with her. Gina and I have a beautiful relationship in that we started this path together. In other words, we started studying A Course in Miracles 2 days within each other. And we also shared a number of challenges in her growing up and being in the church that we were. And as a result, we have a very strong bond. We'll also have another daughter. Her name is Sabrina. She's older. She's our firstborn. And Sabrina is a beautiful soul. All three of my children are passionate, articulate, intelligent, beautiful people. And Sabrina grew up in the church with me, with us, and went to the same college I went to, the church college. And she does not want anything to do with mainstream religion. But she still considers herself a Christian, and she's in the process of figuring out what that looks like for her. And she's exactly where she's supposed to be. And we too have a beautiful relationship. I want to come back to that after in just a minute. But I also want to share that I have a son, Lee, who grew up in the church with us as well, and he considers himself an atheist now. He has no use for any kind of religion, and so he's exactly where he needs to be, or supposed to be, and we have a beautiful relationship as well. Going back to Sabrina, when I first started studying the Course, I didn't share my feelings and beliefs with Sabrina. There was a part of me that was fearful, scared. What would she think? I've already been 30 years in a very dysfunctional church, and I thought she'll probably think I'm in another weird, dysfunctional belief system. I just had these concerns and worries, and just thought, well, I'll just not upset her and just not share what I was going through that I shared with Gina. So it wasn't long ago that I gave her a copy of my book. And in the introduction of my book, it talks about my journey of how I came to be where I am now. And one day she was at my home, and she said, you don't know me very well, do you? And I said, what do you mean? And she said, why didn't you feel like you could share your story with me too, like you did with Gina? And I thought, well, I was just afraid of what you would think. And she said, do you not realize, I get teary, do you not realize that it doesn't matter what you believe, I will always love you? Well, that was eye-opening for me, because I understood then that I had made a mistake, and that there wasn't any reason why I couldn't share those beliefs with her as well. And so it taught me something. There are times, that we can share, and there are times to be discerning, because it's not like we're trying to convert anyone, proselytize, force somebody to believe what I believe. At the same time, I could have shared those things with Sabrina too, and it didn't matter if she agreed or believed in the same things that I believe in, but we could still share that with each other and still love each other. So that was one of the mistakes that I made when I first started embracing spirituality. I was afraid, what will others think? What will my family think? And yeah. And then there's Lee. Now Lee, I got a phone call one day. I was going to Sedona for a spiritual retreat, and it was in the height of the COVID pandemic. And he knew that I wasn't wearing a mask, and he knew that I hadn't been vaccinated. And so he was worried, and he was fearful about that. And so he called me up. Mom, I'm really worried. Please don't go. Please don't go there. I don't want anything to happen to you. And it's then I just explained to him, I hear your concern. I know you're doing this out of love, and I appreciate that, but there's nothing for you to worry about, and I'll let you know when I get there, and I'll let you know when I get back, and I'll be okay. And at least we know, just because we don't have the same beliefs doesn't mean that we don't love each other. And that's when he stopped and he said, you're right, we can do that. And so there was some strain on our relationship, because just from worry of, what's my mom up to? And I don't know what he thinks about me with some of the things that I believe, but it's okay. It's okay. Whatever he believes is fine. And whatever he believes is fine too with me. There's this thing about, we all have our own group of guides. We all have our own blueprints. We have our own assignments when we come here, and we all have our own experiences. And so I try to respect each other's journeys. And I just wanted to share that with my children. But congruency is so important, and that's what I'm learning more and more, is that, and it's not just about sharing our beliefs, it's also pretending that everything's okay when it isn't. Our spouses may ask, or something bothered you, and you say, no, nothing's bothered me. I did that a number of times, and that wasn't being congruent. Or pretending to go along with the crowd when you really don't feel that way. That's not being congruent. And so, growing up in an alcoholic home and pretending like everything was okay when it wasn't, that wasn't being congruent. Having, we were thought of as the ideal church family, my husband and 3 kids growing up in the church. But that wasn't true at all. But we had this facade and we pretended. So those days of pretending are over now. I like to think they are, at least that's my intention. And what I'm focusing on these days is being authentic, being congruent, and just allowing myself to be me with no judgment. And that means allowing everyone else to be who they are with no judgment as well. Thank you for listening. I hope you'll join me next week.